Now, existence, you see, is something that is spontaneous. Your hair grows by itself. Your heart beats by itself. You breathe. You don't have voluntary control over these things. Existence, the physical universe, is basically playful. It isn't going anywhere. That is to say, it doesn't have some destination that it ought to arrive at. In music, one doesn't make the end of a composition. If that were so, the best conductors would be those who played fastest. People go to a concert just to hear one crashing chord, because that's the end. Same way in dancing. You don't aim at a particular spot in the room. That's where you should arrive. The whole point of the dancing is the dance.
Monkey! Woo! And we are back, and boy is it hot outside. It is summer in Britain and I am loving it. Except flies. Flies all need to die. I have killed so many flies. But I have saved a bird which lives in my kitchen. It's okay. Oh. Okay. Come on. It's all good, buddy. It's all good. Here you go. Kitchen and at least 5 butterflies, so I feel I'm at one with nature still. The shred is going well. We're going to be... It's going well. I'm having to hold this microphone because I don't have a top on. I'm going to go put a top on and then we're going to cover my tri-phase training system that is going to be used throughout the entirety of this prep. Whew. Honestly guys, not kidding, so warm. It's meant to be 29 degrees here tomorrow. Do you know what that means? It means that people in England are actually going to combust. They're going to step out their houses and like vampires. Just so you take me seriously again. Okay, check it out. This is the concept. You're going to train 3 weeks on rotation. Each week is going to be something different. It's going to involve a volume week, a heavy week, and a mind to muscle week. The benefits of this system is that it's a great balance for all year round, but the main things are it's going to create interest in your training because every week's going to be a little bit different. It's going to help reduce that risk of injury and work with your central nervous system for recovery. So what we're doing is maximizing our potential for muscle gain, maximizing our interest in our training because we're keeping it fluid and keeping it moving. We're also going to be maximizing progressive muscle gain. So you're not going to be able to go stale. This training is going to keep you moving forward and keep you progressing. Now there's only going to be 1 or 2 real sections you're going to need to note down the weights that you're lifting. But the rest of it you can do quite intuitively. The main thing I love about this style of training for me is it has massively reduced my injury risk. It's brilliant for fixing imbalances as well, and you'll see why when you hear the mind to muscle week. But to get started, we begin with the volume week. Honestly, far too hot in there. So let's get into it. The volume week. Got my notes. This is focusing on 15 to 20 rep range. So that is high volume. You're going to be looking for a minute's rest between sets. So you're keeping this one moving. You're looking to work here the fast twitch muscle fibers, but also push some of that cardio through your workouts, because when we're keeping a pace, high volume, it's going to get painful, you're going to get tired. This is a great one for pushing through, work on your breathing and fighting that bitch mentality. One of the major things you're going to have to fight during a volume week is that will to want to just swing through and hit numbers. And even though we are hitting those higher rep ranges, what we're still looking for is that contraction and bite point that we learned. So we're looking for that start-stop still in everything that we do, but we're looking for a nice, smooth rhythm that's going to put into practice that connection, but also increase that blood flow, make you push those boundaries, help work those lungs a little bit harder, and get that weightlifting cardio up a little bit higher. Because any benefit of cardio that we can get through our training is going to benefit our growth, it's going to benefit our recovery, and it's going to benefit our progression. So remember, it might be high volume, but it's still high concentration. So I'm looking for here is a good start position. Start right, you're going to finish right. So I'm relaxed, and then I'm going to drive through. I'm looking to come back to that start position with full extension every time. We're looking for that volume, so we're looking for high numbers, but I'm looking for high contraction, I'm looking for focus, I'm looking for no body swing. So everything about this is deliberate, but everything is aimed at pushing that blood into the muscle, getting that lactic acid buildup, making you breathe, making you work. So once you've completed the 7 days, you're then going to shift on into the loaded phase. Now the loaded phase is going to work like this. You're going to be aiming to lift heavy. So you're going to keep it between 4 to 8 reps. You're going to aim to get that towards that 8 on the first couple of sets, then hit that lower 4 range towards the back end of the sets of each exercise. Stuff is biting and confusing me. 8 at the beginning, 4 towards the end. Hopefully you're putting progressive little bits of weight loading on to bring those rep ranges down. But throughout this, if rep ranges come down just through fatigue, that's where you stick, that's where you stay. You don't put the weight up if fatigue's bringing you down. You wait until you hit those upper ranges throughout all of this before you start putting that weight up to bring those reps down. Make sense? If not, comment below, I'll clear it up. Heavy is subjective to what you're good at. So for me, lifting heavy, doing my squats and things like that is gonna be relatively light compared to other people. But that's because I'm coming back through injury and rehabbing, and so that lighter load is gonna seem heavier, but it's gonna stick me within that 4 to 8 rep range. Makes sense? Whereas when I'm doing something I'm more capable of, I'm able to load the bar up more, I'm able to work heavier because I'm able to stay strict with that heavy weight load. So this is all about maintaining that technique throughout regardless, so you do the weights that bring you into the rep ranges that each cycle sets you in. Now the heavier week, we're focusing obviously on shifting more weight comparably to where you've been lifting before. It's going to focus much more on that slow twitch. You're also going to need bigger respites between each set. Because you're dealing with heavier loads, you're going to need that CNS recovery, that central nervous system recovery. So take 2 to 3 minutes between sets to make sure you're fully reloaded and ready to go for the next set. Hit it hard, hit it fresh. During this week, you will need to take notes because you're going to need to remember what weights you lifted the previous week so that you can stay progressive. The strength side of this, we do want you to get stronger, so you need to be focusing on what those weights were prior and not backing off. When you get a tendency to feel tired during dieting, you tend to back off, but there is no need, especially through these early weeks. We've got plenty of energy, we've got plenty of calories still in the system, so stick to those progressive weights. Plus, it's just cool to see, you know, where you start and then when you get to it. It's good to have these little diaries. I'm going to be doing a little thing on me starting a notebook, which is going to have 5 critical tasks in it each day for me to complete. And that's going to be one of the next videos. I'm going to show you what critical tasks I pick and why I'm going to be doing that. And finally, we are into the deloaded week. Now this is one of my favorites for progression because not a lot of people do this. The deload is not going to be like a normal one. You're going to do a mind to muscle week. So you're going to still be lifting around 60 to 70% of your heavy weight week. Heavyweight week? Heavy week weight. But you're going to be focusing on squeezing at the contractual point of each movement and fighting the negative, keeping everything slow, and you are only going to do a maximum of 10 reps. And then you're going to stop. You are not going to do any single set to failure. Nothing to failure. You're going to stop at least 2 prior to failure, focusing on that technique and squeeze. You're looking for a 1 second count at that squeeze point at least, and you're going to be doing 1 minute's rest. So as you can see with the mind to muscle, it's a focus negative, and push and squeeze. And at this point I'm really thinking about where the load is it transferring? And if it is, why? And what do I need to fix? This is your mind to muscle style, slow, focused, and almost premeditated. So the main things that we need to focus on in this mind to muscle week is that we are not going to failure. we're lifting a maximum of 10 reps. You're aiming for somewhere between 60 and 70% of your max. This is obviously going to differ from exercise to exercise, and some you're going to be better at than others because you'll have a better mind to muscle connection, and that's absolutely normal. But we're looking to make sure that the body is in alignment, everything is symmetrical, that the weight load is where it needs to be, and that nothing is hitching, shifting, or compensating. This is the biggest thing you can do, is to be positively critical with yourself. If you feel something move or load where it shouldn't, find out where, find out why, and fix it. That's the purpose of this week. Now obviously, this is going to be very exercise dependent on how many factors you're going to have to think about. Something like a chest press is relatively simple to just focus on a couple of parts because your whole body's supported. But let's say we're doing bicep curls. What we're looking for here is to make sure that nothing is moving but the joints that we intend. So with a bicep curl, I'm looking to pin my elbow, curl up and squeeze, not letting any excess movement come through. I'm also making sure my shoulder's not moving, the upper body is staying nice and rigid so that my core is tight, my glutes are engaged, and I'm able to curl strict and slow. And again, on that mind to muscle, we're looking for the top squeeze. We're looking for that maximal point of contraction without excessive movement. And what we're doing the whole time by creating this mind to muscle mechanism is we're setting those full ranges of motion so that when we go into the heavy lifts, the volume lifts, we don't accidentally cheat, because we're building that motor pathway that will only move through a full, clean range of motion. And what you're also going to be doing is dialing in on any bad habits that you might have, which again are going to translate through into those volume weeks, and even more so into the heavy lifts, where those big ones that used to be a struggle, used to feel like your soul was getting crushed, they'll start to move like butter. It's going to make you think about those movements that normally you would maybe swing through, use a little bit of body weight. It's going to take all that away. We're going to have start and stop points, squeeze, hold, stop, reset, squeeze and hold. These simple tricks are going to pay huge dividends down the line when you're not utilizing body weight to move the weight and you're actually starting to lift it instead of just shift it. That is my tri-phase training system. This is the way I'm going to be training through the entirety of this prep, and I'm really looking forward to getting back into it. I don't know why I stopped doing this style of training, really. I think I just got a little bit lost, got a little bit carried away with some other stuff. But this is it. We're into week 2. I am down to 83 kilograms from 85 as a starting point. Now remember, I was feeding myself up to drop into this, so I was expected to do a bit of a quick cut. I did drop to a very low of 82, but that was too fast, so I actually had a couple of refeeds to get me back up, and now we're back on track, weighing in at 83 without being completely fasted, and that's fully hydrated as well. So perfect weight loss at the moment, 2 kilos down in 2 weeks, absolutely perfect. If you didn't see the diet video, make sure to check it out. It was a previous video prior to this one. You will definitely need a notebook and pen for that one. But it's awesome to see so many of you guys joining in and so many of you getting excited about this old school style of being back. So thank you all for joining me. It's much appreciated. Make sure that you do hit that notification bell. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the notification bell, mainly because I'm crap at timekeeping, but also because there's so much going on with COVID being lifted here now that I try and get these videos up every Sunday and Wednesday, but there's going to be days where facilities aren't available in time, or I get an opportunity to go do something else that's going to benefit the series, so I have to go film that, and it doesn't give me enough time to get the edit done. See where I'm going here? Hit the notification bells and you won't miss anything, it won't matter. But we're going to aim for Wednesdays and Sundays, but Lex time. So that's it. I've given enough away my secrets for now. Next video is going to be a full grocery haul, showing you everything that I purchased from a local supermarket to go into the back cave, to keep the gains coming, to keep the fun happening, and to keep finding my way to the beach. Boom, baby. Have a great week. Make your own energy. We're out.